the third DLC of Black Ops 2 introduced the final Victus map that we would see into Black Ops 4, that being Buried. Now, Buried is my favorite map out of the Victus maps, minus... Actually, no, I would say it is. I was going to say minus Tag, but Tag isn't really that good. But Buried is generally my favorite map out of the Victus maps of Black Ops 2. It's not my favorite map of Black Ops 2, that's Mob, of course, but it's probably top 2. Now, Buried is, I think, notoriously known for being a relatively easy map. It's probably the easiest map post-Black Ops... Oh, not post. Pre-Black Ops 3. And then once we get into Black Ops 3, a lot of the Black Ops 3 maps are relatively easy. Now, Buried introduces some new aspects to zombies and some reoccurring stuff from the previous Victus maps. One of those reoccurring things is buildables. Buildables are back. Yeah, they were kind of a thing in Black Ops 2, not in Black Ops 2, it's been a thing in the whole of Black Ops 2, but they were kind of a thing in Mob, but they were brought back quite a bit in, or brought back quite a lot with Buried. Now, of course, Mob had, you know, set buildables. Buried also does have that as well, but you don't really see them on the HUD, unlike Mob, which you obviously do. You obviously see the shield on the HUD, and you see the acid gat. Buried, they're just around the map, and you have the likes of the trampoline, or not trampoline, the turbine. The turbine's back. The trampoline is also back. Some new ones like the surfaceless resonator and the head chopper. Those are both pretty good as well, especially if you're camping by Jug. And yeah, those are the buildables. Some retarded, some new. You know, pretty good. Now, Buried does introduce two new wonder weapons and a new perk. Let's talk about the perk first before we go into the wonder weapons. So the perk is known as Vote Trade, and Vote Trade is one of the more useful perks in Black Ops 2 and just in zombies in general. Now, Vote Trade has a bunch of special abilities it has. The first one is it gives you the location of each bot's location, or the current bot's location active right now. It also gives you the locations of each perks, the location of Pack-a-Punch, and also there's a bunch of other abilities as well. For example, if you kill a zombie, sometimes they'll drop either, you know, 5 cash or some ammo, which you can replenish ammo from doing so. Now, you're only going to get about 4 or 5 bullets back, and you're only going to get about 5 to 10 points, but it's still money that adds up over time, and in the long run reimburses your investment into Vote Trade. But I think the main ability that people buy Vote Trade for is the green mist around some of the zombies. So when you kill a zombie that has a green mist around it, that zombie will, that mist will, if you go into that mist and you stay there long enough, it will basically work as a zombie's blood, for example, like in Origins. And the zombies will basically just ignore you and just go past you. Now, this can be very useful, for example, if you're trying to get the attention off yourself and onto your other teammates. For example, if one of your teammates is trying to revive someone, no, that's a bad scenario. If you're trying to revive someone and your teammates, and you see a green mist, you can use that to get zombies away, and then you can revive somebody. Another example is obviously if you get cornered and when the green mist comes in just in time, it will save you basically. And yeah, Vote Trade is a very useful perk, and sometimes I would consider the perk over the likes of Quick Revive, especially if I'm playing co-op. If I'm playing solo, probably not though. Now, Tombstone and PhD Flopper are available through a upgrade, or you know, through the perma perks. I don't know if it's called perma perks. It's persistent upgrades. There you go. So basically, if you dolphin dive enough times, you'll get this green sparkle effect around you, and you've basically got the PhD perma perk. And you basically keep that into like a variable's being broken, and then you don't have it anymore. Now let's talk about the wonder weapons, shall we? So let's talk about the first wonder weapon. And this is the wonder weapon that, once it came out, was introduced in every single map for Black Ops 2, and came back for Black Ops 3 as well. Black Ops 4, I think only for Alpha Omega though, and it hasn't made an appearance for Cold War yet. Or it probably won't. Probably won't make an appearance for Dark Ether, but the Rager Mark II. Now the Rager Mark II, I like to say, is more of an AR kind of. It's not really AR. It's like a pistol pistol, like, I don't know how to describe it, but basically it's a 3-round burst, like kind of AR pistol variant ray gun. Where instead of it doing any sort of splash damage, it just does, like, it just shoots bullets instead. And I think it normally has about 21 mags or 21 rounds in it, and you basically shoot them in a burst of 3. And it's really useful if you get headshots. It's a very good ray gun variant compared to the other ray gun variants we will see. Is it better than the original ray gun? Yes. I would say it is, personally, and I understand if you don't feel the same way. While the original ray gun kind of loses its value over time, the ray gun Mark II actually doesn't really lose its value at all. Like, if you get the ray gun Mark II in Black Ops 4, for example, you're going to keep that fucker because it's probably going to do a lot of work. But if you get the ray gun Mark II in BO2, you're also going to keep it as well because it's pretty good. I think a lot of, if I'm correct, and I don't really pay attention to lots of the speedrunners scene, but I think a lot of speedrunners, especially high-round speedrunners, will use the Mark II. Because the headshot damage just is really good. But the main one weapon for me for this map is the Paralyzer. Now the Paralyzer is basically, I think the perfect way to describe it is, the more you use it, it's a infinite ammo weapon that has a recharge limit. So you can only use it for, I think it's like 110 or something, and then it has to recharge. But what it does is it slows the zombies down to the point where they become just, you know, undead man walking gobblegum style slowed. And this could actually be a very useful weapon in a lot of scenarios because it's not used just to kill zombies. It's used as a mobility weapon as well. You can go from point A to point B by just floating in the air with it, which is, I think, a really cool thing, and it's why I think it's the wonder weapon of the map. Well, it obviously is, but why I think it's the better wonder weapon of the two. Now, Barry did introduce a brand new enemy type, and you will only go against these if you go into the house, and those are the witches. Now the witches are very unique in a sense where they won't really target when you enter their house. They will obviously target you, but they're not going to take your health. They're going to take your points. They're going to take 2,000 points per hit or per soul suck up. I don't know what they do. It's kind of weird. It's weird to describe it, but basically, as soon as they touch you, they just steal points off you. Now, if you obviously run out of points, they'll start damaging you, and that's when you can go down. So if you have like 50k and you burn through 50k in the witch's house, yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for you. But something the witches can do, which is really cool, is if all the lights are on in the witch's house, and you enter the witch's house and you travel through from point A to point B, and you wait for the witches to come down, or come out the house, if you kill them all, they drop a free perk. And it can be any of the perks. So it is possible to get a perkaholic on this map. This is as far as I'm aware, like the second or so like map where you can get a perkaholic from not doing the Easter egg. The first map obviously being Call the Dead, but I think you can get a perkaholic on Shangri-La as well. You can get a perkaholic on Moon as well. It's really cool. I love when maps have that where you can just get a perkaholic from playing the map and not having to use a gobblegum like BO3, for example. Let's get into a little bit of trivia, shall we, with Buried? So, in the opening cutscene, in the opening cutscene, other survivors are shown fighting against the zombies. It seems like 2 of them appear to be police officers, each with a pistol. Another civilian, and a zombie is basically eating one of the other survivors. The number of ghosts spotted in the mansion is proportional to the number of players inside. So, if there's only one player inside, then there's probably going to be about 10, 12, 15 witches total. But if there's more, then obviously there's going to be a lot more. In the maze, there is this well, and if you throw a grenade at this well, and I think if you throw a grenade at the well before you enter the witch's house, it can actually work as kind of a teleporter kind of thing, especially if it's got a green glowing light. you could jump in that, and or jump in that in the well, and it will send you back to like the spawn room, which is I think a really cool. I think it's really cool. I don't know the stat details on how exactly you gotta do it. I know if you play on like easy, for example, on build 2, you won't get it, and I think some other variables you won't get it as well. Now the final fact, and this is what I'm going to give you as well, is it's actually possible to get the LSAT in the starting room and survive. I'd basically make it back onto the starting room floor, basically not go down to the buried town. It's you got to do it very fucking fast, but it is possible, which I think is really cool. Buried as a map is a very interesting map, and I mean I say this for a lot of the zombies maps, but this map is actually really, really good. And as we had mob obviously did incredible, right, for zombies. Buried was just another thing to add on top of that as well. And as Shimmy Slincey's final map in charge of zombies, I would say this is probably a good send-off for him. This map did well. Of course, you had the Easter egg as well, and the endings for those, both of those being kind of lackluster. As we would find out in the comics later on, the Max's ending is the canon ending, which is very interesting, and I do agree it's probably the right choice to go with. And, well, yeah. Of course, we don't see Victus again into Blood, which they make a little appearance, but we won't see them, we won't actually play as them into Tag. And you gotta think, that's quite a while, ain't it? Not really, but it is. Well, it is. It took a little while. It took a shit while. Anyway, that's Buried done. The next map is obviously Origins, which Origins is going to be a very interesting map to talk about, because while I gave Mob of the Dead a lot of praise, you won't hear that same amount of praise from me when it comes to Origins. And like I say, I'll leave that to next video. I was going to explain why, but I'll leave it to next video. Anyway, I'll see you Muppets in the next one. Peace.